Namaste, good morning, Happy New Year if I haven't said it already to you, my sweet, sweet pigeons. Welcome to our Monday Flow, welcome back. Today we are going to be trying to spark a gentle fire. So I don't know about you guys, but over the little festive intermission, I may have been a little bit on the lazy side, and that can make us feel a bit cool in those sort of places where we sort of dig up a bit of our spirit. So trying to just warm up those areas of energy, hearts, roots, and hopefully spark our mind, our curiosity as well. Okay, so finding your way as a little bit of a slightly different start for us into your child's pose. So you might be roughly in the center of your mat and just finding your way back towards the shins. And I want you to take a really nice luxurious kind of walk forwards, kind of lifting the ribs, taking everything nice and long, sitting back towards the heels. And you might even take this small rock between your thighs as you reach the hands forwards. I want you to feel like there's a bit of a kind of warming up of the sensitivity of feeling the body. And the fingertips are trying to stretch a bit of space into your shoulders. You can land your forehead here. Or you could take one hand on top of the other, elbow tips a little bit wide. I want you to start here as a way of sort of bringing yourself into the ground and a bit more into our sensation. So we're going to take 3 or 4 deep breaths here to start. Continuing your breath, feel if you could release any tension from the face already, just letting it go and melt. Another breath or two, just considering what your energy has to say to you today. And don't worry if that is a little bit low or even a little bit hectic. Just sort of accept wherever you're at, whatever makes up your present vibe. When you're ready from there, just start to release your hands forwards, keeping that internal connection. We're just going to imagine being picked up by your shoulders. So your head's slightly heavy as you drag your shoulders up on top of the hips to sitting. Maybe chins towards the chest for a moment as we start to lift the crown, bringing the eyes up to eye level. Bring your shins slightly together here. So we're just going to bring the palms to face us, link the thumbs. So you have this kind of shadow puppet butterfly. We're just going to take that towards the chest. And this is our eagle mudra. I want you to imagine, just for a couple of warming breaths in the belly, that half-closed Ujjayi sound, that we're just igniting this space at the chest. So where the thumbs meet. So as you half close that exhale, we create that steaming sound. Just imagine you're sort of blowing on the embers or the coals. And just bringing a bit of warmth, a bit of glow. I want you to imagine this spreads out as your fingers spread. So this glow starts to draw outwards, feeding the breath and all those little capillaries across the chest. And we're sending that around the body. So as we take the last couple, we're just going to close up the palms, fingertips roll, and then send that back out. And then again, fingertips curl, and exhale, spread them out. Inhale, take a nice big roll of the arms up, stretch like a big yawn. Exhale, release the shoulders down. And we're going to take the hands to interlace and just round out your shoulders and your back. Bringing the hands back towards the chest as you sit tall. We're going to come off the feet. Maybe you need to give those feet a little shake. And then we're going to inhale, take the hands to invert, palms towards the sky. Inhale. Exhale, release. This time the hands come behind you a little bit, so we're opening up that chest. Hands interlace or hands to elbows as you inhale. And exhale, feed the heart forwards and the sit bones back. So we're coming back to child's pose with the heart forwards. Your forehead might land, or you might release the hands a little bit early. When you're ready, take the hands in front of you, find your way into your tabletop, roughly in the center of the mat, and we're just going to take kind of that contented cat, just a little roll off the palms to stretch the fingers. So you got a feeling of bringing more sensation into your hands before we spread the fingers and take our cat-cow. Inhaling, looking forwards, belly comes down. Exhale, looking between the elbows, belly rounds. Inhaling, feeling the spine. Your breath moves in. Exhaling, really round out the shoulders and release the neck. Breathing out. Inhale, we'll take that again. Full breath in and full breath out. And then when you're ready, inhale, come down nice and level and just give your hips a little shift side to side. So there's a feeling of kind of squeezing same side, shoulder towards same side, hip on each side. And we can take that into our round space as well, same movement. Before we let ourselves relax and level the spine. Tucking the toes, inhale, let's start to come off the knees and draw up to your down dog, finding all of that length through the backs of the legs. And if this is your first session with me, maybe there is a little sound of rest. Don't worry about it too much, just wriggle in. If you need to, just take a little break on the knees in child's pose. Give yourself one or two more little wriggles. Feel the hips get involved, the sides of the body, the sides of the flanks, just opening a little. And then when you're ready, inhale, start to lift your right foot off the ground into the air. We're not staying too long, just stretch it out. And then just allow your knee, your ankle to feel a bit loose in the air. We're just going to shake it out as if we're just kind of shaking water off that leg. Big breath in, big breath out. As we inhale, we're going to step your right foot between your hands. This could be one movement, or you could land on that left knee, help this right foot along. Breathing in, let's find lunge, forwards into the hips, as much or as little as feels comfortable. And then finding your crescent moon. Again, you might bring the hips back to lift the chest and arms. 3 deep breaths. We're going to take this really quite wide, so as if you're catching or holding a really nice, gentle, big ball between the hands. So everything's quite wide as we allow this stretch to deepen. Breathing into the chest, reminding ourselves of that spark. Breathe in, rise the arms. Exhale, bring your hands inside your front knee. We're going to just gently tuck the back toes and keeping the feeling on the knee line, just swivel your left shin until it's kind of at a right angle. Good. And we're just going to feel the hands walk out towards the left and feel that nice open space in the hip. Can be really gentle this morning. Might be on the fingertips here or reaching out, reaching the tailbone back. Give yourself another deep breath here. And then walk your hands back in and gently, gently reframe that back shin. Finding the opposite space in the hips, left hand inside your right foot. Then inhale, take up the back knee and lift the right arm. So you're coming into that spiral. Chest towards the right thigh, breath being felt against the thigh. And you're pressing your left heel back and your crown forwards. Give yourself another deep breath here. Exhale to relax the hands. Down to the ground as we find our way back to plank. So let's start a little bit of a spark in the core. So your crown presses forward, heels press back. Don't worry if you prefer to be on the knees today. We want a bit of energy across the shoulders and in your core muscles. As we take 2 deep breaths. We're going to lower to the belly. You can take the knees down first or lower like a press up or a press down. Full breath in to rise the chest off the ground. Peel your chest like a sticker just until the hips want to lift. Coming back over tucked toes. Exhale, child's pose. As we re-enter that child's pose, you can choose to elevate the wrists onto engaged fingertips like 2 little tents if you want to extend the space in the back of the chest. Breathing for 3 deep breaths. When you're ready, relax your hands, find your way up to tabletop and just find a spread of both hands as we push the ground away. Lift the hips, lift the knees and stretch. Tailbone up and away from that heavy crown of the head. So there's loads of energy through your back and legs. The head can relax at the end of the spine. You can wriggle if that feels good to keep a little bit of movement and shifting space. Breathing in, start to take the left foot off the ground into the air, not staying too long, a bit of looseness through your lifted leg as we kind of shake off water. Kind of kick it up, find a bit of energy, almost like a little punch into the air with that foot. And then inhale, we're just going to bring your left foot between the hands. That could be one movement or bringing yourself in and down to the knee first. Sit a little bit forwards, warm up the sense of your lunge. And then if you need to, come back before we take the chest and arms into the air. Find your way forwards. It might just be a millimetre more of space that you want here. Find a little extra rise in the chest, maybe even a slight lean back if you want to find some more space through that right piriformis hip and quad. We're going to catch that big old orb between the hands so that we get this feeling of width. And even spread the fingers. Take another 2 breaths. Come back to that feeling of ignition in the heart space, sending energy out. Breathing in, let's rise the arms. Breathing out, we're coming down inside the left knee. And gently kind of allow this right shin, your back shin, to spin gently to the left so you get this right angle. Make sure there's a bit of weight coming off the knee here. So we're walking the hands out. So they're kind of, your hands are opposing your hips. As you either draw your hips back, reach forwards, or stay kind of gentle with the hands on engaged fingertips. Letting the head drop for 3 big breaths. going to start to align the hips, realign the shin gently, gently. Right hand inside the left foot. Inhale to lift the back knee. This time there's a feeling of squeezing the hips slightly together as we spin the chest to the left, rising that left set of fingertips. And there's a feeling of forward through the crown, back through the heel here, as we kind of make sure that the lines feel kind of energetic in the body. So shoulder to shoulder, heel to crown, fingertip to fingertip. One last deep breath. Exhale to release. This time we're just going to take a little hop back to your plank position. And you can bring down your knees or belly first. Finding your way all the way down to the belly. Inhale to peel the chest off the ground. Exhale back over tucked toes. And this time coming straight to your down dog. So having kind of equaled the size, just notice if you can kind of wriggle into a really sort of equal space in your body. Maybe closing the eyes, breathing deeply here. We're inhaling, starting to look towards the hands as we walk your hands back. So we're going to walk back towards your feet and really try to feel the moment that your weight comes equally into the feet as we forward fold. You can bend the knees really generously here, it doesn't have to be too intense or rigid. Keeping the alignment feeling good, feet under knees and hips. Heavy head, maybe shake out that head. We're going to start to roll up so the arms as heavy as the head as we start to roll, lift and stack each vertebrae. Feel like you're really growing slow-mo, like a plant, all the way up through that crown. Shoulders roll back and down as you reach the top. Inhale, let yourself lead with the wrists here. Wrists come forwards and cross. And then exhale, lead back with the wrists and elbows. Chest comes slightly forwards. So we're drawing a little figure of 8. Inhale. Exhale. And then let your breath do whatever it wants. You don't have to follow my breath. But see if you can feed it more deeply into the spaces we're opening. So shoulders, chest. Good. I'm going to kind of speed this up slightly, bend the knees a little bit so there's a little bit more space to be felt. And we used to feel again a little spark, maybe this time a little lower in the abdominals as we curl and arc. Inhale, rise the arms. Exhale, just take the arms out either side of you. Again. So let's go with a little release, slight bend in the knees, feet at hips distance, and we're just going to give those arms a little whirl over to the right and then left. So our torso is powering the arms in this windmill. We're getting a little twist. We're sending energy to the arms. And we're going to get the staleness out here, in through the nose, sighing out. And just one more. Allow yourself to slow. And really let that subside until you find stillness. And maybe close the eyes as you find that. And just observe with those nice heavy fingertips, soft shoulders. Observe your breath. The feeling of the texture of the mat under your feet. Really standing into all 4 corners of each foot. Noticing your hips distance apart, the openness of the chest, and the softness behind the eyes. Okay, so we're going to start to step your right foot forwards, one big step, so that we can turn both feet to the left, or whichever way suits you. In Prasarita, so feet are at right angles, and we're just taking hands to the hips here. As you breathe in, start to lift your crown. As you breathe out, really notice the rotation from the hinge of the hips coming down. I want you to feel a bit of that core strength and strength through the legs. Careful of overlocking knees as you find a half fold. You can always take a small bend in those knees so it becomes a bit more of a squat. Inhale, we're going to keep that strength going and really stretch your arms forwards in the line of the hips, holding for 2 or 3 breaths. Feel the core help you keep the strength away from the legs, or the work away from the legs. And then exhale, drape the chest down to meet the floor. Give your head a little shake. Inhale, let's walk the hands towards your left foot. Take a visit through your left diagonal hamstring stretch. You don't have to meet that foot, just towards that. Release with your next breath out. Walk towards your right foot. You can reach towards or connect to that foot. Stretch through the tailbone upwards. Next breath out. Come to center. We're going to turn the heels in, feet turn out, and feel our way into those hips. Hips are usually the tightest places when we haven't done our stretches lately. So we're coming into the thighs with each elbow and a slight push back. So nothing too intense, nothing too pushy. So I've been thinking a lot in our New Year's classes about the difference between hope and expectation. And it's the same sort of thing with our stretches. Not too pushy, just a sort of reach. When you're ready, inhale, come up, one hand on each thigh. Let's breathe into the center. Come back into bend and just take a little twist of the chest towards the front of your mat. Breathe into center and a little twist of your chest towards the back of your mat. Breathe into center and we're just going to open the arms. Inhale, stretch to standing. Exhale, release, soft fingertips back down to bend. Just gently cross the arms, inhale, back up. Nice full breath. Exhale out. And your breath might be coming out of the mouth, or it might be a little more subtle, wherever you feel. A couple more. Exhale out. Last time. This time we're just going to shake the hands out. Good. Come all the way to the ground. Align your feet towards the side again. And we're just going to walk towards your front foot and step back to your child's pose. Exhale back. Forehead to the ground. So almost sort of check in this pose that we started in, how you feel in certain areas, where you've awakened the body, where you can feel the breath. When you're ready, inhale, we'll just take ourselves gently up to cross the feet underneath us and sit on our cross legs pose, or just take your feet however you want to come to sitting. Make your way into the middle of the mat. Let's finish on a couple of simple movements. Left hand outside the left hip, right arm up and over, finding your side space. And then push to the other side. Exhaling. We're going to do one more of each. Big breath in. Take up room on your way around. And again, feel the breath move you. Inhale, center. Exhale, hands just behind you, fingertips facing forwards. Take a little lean, open the chest. If it feels okay for hips today, we're also going to lift the hips. Exhale, come back down gently to the ground and pick up the knees. Exhale, we're going to roll it down and squeeze your knees and shins towards you as you feel a spread of your shoulders on the mat. Exhale, open arms. Both knees gently rocking over to your left for your supine twist. So you're a little lightning bolt on your left side. Breathe in, gently, gently out. So our breath is starting to take over. And we're almost just looking at our breath rather than managing it. Breathing in, start to bring your knees up center and then over to your right. And they're just going to tumble to the right, a little lightning bolt on your side. Again, feel like your breath is just moving itself. You're relinquishing control on the breath. Inhale, come center, both knees in towards the center of the chest. And then stretch those feet into the air. Stretch the hands into the air as well. We'll just rotate each joint. Both ankles, both wrists. Let the knees and elbows bend towards you so that you feel gravity. Take the arms and legs down into your Shavasana, feeling the weight on your back and shoulders, back of the head as you stretch out. When we started to let go of control, just allow yourself now to surrender to your breath, the weight of your body on the floor, for a few simple moments of breathing. As we breathe here just a little while longer, feel the weight of each arm. Feel the tingle across each palm. Feel the weight on the back of the head and the legs, your back. And the tingle of the soles of the feet, crown. See if you can imagine breathing with the whole body. So a slight inflation and presence as we breathe in. And that slight release, letting go as we breathe out. And we'll breathe with the whole body as one for two more deep breaths. Let that breath give you energy. Start to wriggle your fingers and toes. Start to bundle the knees up. And let's tumble across to our left side. Take your sweet, sweet time, no rushing coming up. Find your way to cross legs. Take a shift of the hips side to side. And just bring the palms together. thumb knuckles of your prayer position towards the third eye, circling there. And just feel that self-massage as a kindness. Just feel yourself really soften your attitude towards yourself. Kindness and care. Bringing your palms towards the chest. Let's take a bow to ourselves. Namaste. I hope you can take that little bit of caring attitude towards yourself into the rest of your day or evening. And I'll let this be the last time that I say a Happy New Year to you. Namaste everyone, thanks so much for joining me, and I hope to see you here or in class next week.